As you can see, I'm flicking through maps. So we had a very short video, just it wasn't actually as short as I'd have liked it to have been. So the websites and links for conducting desktop due diligence. We had the free reports, paid reports, the local developments, the broad developments, safety certificates, building certificates, the Brisbane City Council building links, and useful links that I thought you might enjoy. And so that we've done a video on that. So I'm moving forward to the next part of the workbook now, which is all those maps. And I know I said to you in a previous video, and just in case you can't remember what I was saying, is imagine you have a map and you place tracing paper over the top of the map, and the tracing paper had the areas on it of bushfire zones, koala habitats. They would be on the tracing paper that you would place over the top of this map, and then you'd be able to see this particular area here. When I place the tracing paper over it, that is falling on top of this property, but not on top of this property. And so that's what the overlays are. They're an overlay like you're laying over a piece of tracing paper. That's the best way I can say to describe it. Let's have a look at them. I use the Brisbane City Council for all of my research because that's my market. That's where I work. Although where you live or where you're buying, you will have the local city council for that area, and you would just look up the same information, do a search. So here you can see the Brisbane City Council's plan over the 20 years from June 2014 in great detail. It's called the Brisbane City Council City Plan 2014. And I've ticked some things here and circled some things here. So you can see that you can turn on these layers. See the layers here, map layers? This one here has got the boundaries and labels ticked. And so that allows you to see the boundaries and the labels for each lot, property, house, whatever you want to call it, and the street names. And you can also say here you want to view the property lot report, and you can get a PDF. This is the Brisbane City Council website. I encourage you to click on these links here. You can see the zone. So let me see if I click on it, you're not going to see it because I'm not recording that window, but it talks about what the different zones are. There's recreation zones, there's residential zones, there's industry zones. And so I've tried to come up with as many explanatory links as I possibly can to educate you as to what is available from the council's website. So if you'd like to make improvements to your new home, like building a granny flat or putting in a pool, you should check to see what overlays apply to that property before you buy it. Some overlays will prescribe what you can and cannot build on your land. Wouldn't it be disheartening if you bought a home with a large backyard and you found out you couldn't put the thing on it that you wanted to? This will list any overlays such as a bushfire overlay, flood overlay, and you'll be able to see. So, and zones, Brisbane's land is divided into zones, and depending upon what zone you are in, you'll be told how you can use your land or develop your land. So, and I recommend changing the base map to base. So where can I show you that? Base maps here. So there's a choice of base maps that you can see here. I recommend choosing the base one. All right, next page. Brisbane City Council future roads. So we've got a table here, and you can see I've just highlighted a couple of things that you might want to read about. These are the links here for that. And you can see I've ticked this here saying if you want to see roadworks that are or improvements to roads, you can tick these ticks here to be able to have those show up on the map. The links are below. The second link takes you to a page that contains links to proposed amendments to City Plan 2014 in spreadsheet format. All right, next page. Brisbane City Council flood map. You can zoom right into the home that you're interested in purchasing, and you can see that you can tick different boxes to see different types of flooding. In a different part of this course, I have described the different types of flooding. So you've got overland flow, and that's overland flow is like when it's raining so hard that the gutters can't drain the water away fast enough, and so it's just flowing down the road. River, creek, and storm tide, that is when the waters are rising from creeks and rivers. And then you've got different tick boxes here to see different areas where different years where it happened. So it's really interesting. I could sit here for an hour and just click around. It's really cool, actually. I really think it's amazing. This is amazing. So this is a separate place just to view the flood water levels. Here, you just need to turn on those layers for flood mapping. Next, the link at the bottom of this page, if you click on that, you're going to be taken to a web page where you can then click on to see the Brisbane City Plan. And when you click on to see the Brisbane City Plan, your mind will be blown if you've never seen it before. There is a plethora of information that is available to you. For example, you can see I've highlighted this here, and you can see parks with barbecues on the marked on the map. So you can add more filtered data to your map. If you've created a login, you can save your map searches. It's very useful. Next page. Brisbane City Council bikeways. Perhaps you're interested in knowing where you can ride your bike around. And so you can see those there. There's 2 links at the bottom of that page. Bus and train stops. This is taking you to the TransLink website, and you can obviously explore that from there. Trains, buses. And what I find frustrating is the more you zoom in, the words don't get any bigger. Like you're still trying to zoom in to read the little bus stop information, and it doesn't get any bigger. The streets do, but the words don't. But that's just me, I suppose. Next, public school catchments. This one's cool. So you can see that if you're going to be wanting to go to this school, for example, or this school, you need to live in the catchment. That's the way that works. So we've got that public and private school results. Perhaps you're looking to see which schools have got the best results. Well, there is a link here that you can use. Queensland Police Online Crime Map, really cool. You can see the little heat map where crimes have been committed. You can filter through particular crimes. Again, we've also got red suburbs crime data, which I find is an interesting way of viewing the same information laid out differently. And there's a link to that there, although this one is paid. I think there is like a free period or a really cheap period at the beginning. Investigate that yourself, but that's a really great way to look at it, the data. Walkability. So remember I was talking about what's the walkability. So it says here for this one, for example, 11 Malgoa Street has a walk score of 30 out of 100. And the location is a car-dependent neighbourhood. So investigate the neighbourhoods that you're interested in, and here are the links. The digital atlas, this is amazing. I just want you to be aware of this. I've given you a link to it, and you can turn on layers just like with the Brisbane City Council one. You can have a look at different base maps, and you can really get lost in there for days. It's another way of viewing similar information. EarthSat, there we go. I was talking about EarthSat in another video. You can actually have a look at the socio-economic advantage and disadvantage areas. Public housing. So this is where you can see that by following this link, you go to microburbs, and they've got free information for you that you can actually use to see which suburbs have got the most public housing, also known as Housing Commission. Or if, say, you're over 55 and you want to see where is the most concentration of that age group, they've got many other things you can search for. So have a look at their, see how they've even got it percentage-wise. Have a look at their amazing software. They've also got where you can see the renters and affluence, microburbs, very good place. They've got paid and free. If I click on this now, I'm just going to check it's still free, and it takes you to the right spot. You'll have to, yeah, perfect. Perfectly good. Next, GeoRes Globe. So this is great for looking at mining operations. So I've picked this area near Ipswich because there is some spooky stuff going on underground around those areas. So good resource. There's the link. Archistar. Oh, I love Archistar. Great. Got lots of free information there. Look at this. You can see fire ant zones, bushfire layers, sewer pipes. I mean, do yourself a favor and go to the Archistar website and have a look. You can pay, you can get free information, lots of free information there. Just turn on the layers and have fun. HTAG. Similar. HTAGs is software that's really designed to be for property investors who have got property portfolio and a strategy, and it allows them to look at the data. But it's great. If you want to have a look, please do. It's not free, but it does have a small amount of free information. Suburbs Finder, another one. This is, they offer a free trial access to their data. And I'm going to guess and say it's 30 days. You can give it a go. It's also designed for property investors, but it presents the data in a different way. Perhaps it's even a little bit more user-friendly. Have a look at that. Unimproved land value. Okay, so this is where you can go in the Queensland government through this Queensland Globe website. It's great. Queensland Globe is another. Do yourself a favour and have a click around in there. Wow, there's just so many layers that you can turn on and off. At the end of the day, you'll decide which one it kind of like works for you. So, so many links in here. I'm really proud of the information I put in here. It did take a long time. All these screenshots. Whoa. Okay, next. So you are privileged to have simple, easy access to all these links, because otherwise, and laid out in a way that's so easy, just flick to the right page, and once you've clicked on the links, you can save them up in your bookmarks bar. Easements. Okay, so you can see that this map here is showing easements around these homes here, and this also is with Queensland Globe, another wonderful software. Wow. I mean, the map above is from Queensland Globe, a mapping tool with a comprehensive set of layers to select. With over 140 layers, you can view Indigenous land interests, easements, the Heritage Register, road crash locations. Of course, others have that too, but just you decide on which one of these mapping tools suits you personally. Mobile phone towers, here's a link if you want to find out about that. You might be wondering why I'm often using the gap in these. Is because I live at the gap. So sunray angles. Oh, I found this software here. There's 3 options. They're all good. Hey, just do yourself a favor and have a bit of a play with that. Really good for architects to be able to see where the sun is. But it also, at different times of year, if you're looking where to put your vegetable garden or your swimming pool, you can see what's going to be hottest in summer and warmest in winter and that sort of thing. Water and sewer pipes, how important. So the top one is a bit of a zoom out and then a zoom in, and you can just see, and there's a legend at the side. The legend's super helpful. What more can I say? Well, great information. Electricity, so you can see underground and overhead power lines. You can just tick the ones that you want to view. I recommend these ones, so I've already got them highlighted for you. Before you dig, superb, free information. It shows you everything you want to know about any particular parcel of land that you're looking at purchasing or digging up. Historical photos. This is where I want to end because I think these are amazing. So if you have a look, this is the place, right? This is the current view of this area. This particular home, that's how it looks now. But look what it used to look like. It's just interesting to have a look. And, there's obviously more than one photograph. So we've got links there for those as well. It's a couple of my favorite places to go to for the historical photographs. Anyway, that is taking you through the links. I hope I didn't blow your mind because there's just so much information, but really, like I said, you really need to sit down for 6 hours and click on all these links and have fun and work out what mapping software out of several that I showed you, which one suits you, because a lot of them, like you can see the flood layers from more than one of these softwares, and you can see the power lines, for example, from more than one. But I wanted you to have access to as much as I could possibly fit in, because that is just going to give you more knowledge, more confidence, and it's just going to make you feel more capable. Thanks for joining me. I believe that's the end of this workbook. Yes, it is. And have fun with all these links. Oh, bye.